All right, even more Game 3 breakdowns on Finals Film Room coming up at 7 Eastern this evening. Chris Miles, Stan Van Gundy, and Jalen Rose giving you the goods and that coaching perspective as this series heads to Game 4. Ben Mathurin, 27 points, Smitty, in 22 minutes in Game 3, and he did it efficiently.
He has. And what I love about him, here's a young guy that, has been the guy since high school, the guy in college, and at times was the guy for the Pacers before they started having these runs. And unfortunately, last year he was hurt. You give him the basketball. He's one of the few guys in his league that don't need a pick and roll to get a bucket.
Missed last year's run due to injury, proving to be very valuable, like you mentioned. This time around, let's check in with Mathurin, who's now talking to the media.
No.
No?
No.
You have to pick another one or the next one?
You talking about my NBA career?
Oh, yeah. 27 in the final, being a super factor. How do you feel right now? How's your fitness this morning?
I feel good. I feel good. I'm recovering pretty well, and just getting ready for the game tomorrow.
Which one would you pick as a key? Forcing them to 19 turnovers, 45 from you and your guys from the bench, the intensity level of defense in second quarter. Which one would you pick from the game last yesterday?
If I had to pick some, I would say the aggressiveness. Mm-hmm. We were aggressive and we were persistent on the defense side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball, and we were able to, to win the game.
My last one quick, between Shea and Jalen Williams, 10 turnovers. I mean, they handle the ball all the time, but that's too much. There's a great defensive plan.
For sure. I think, whatever we can do to win the game, whether it's, grabbing extra rebounds or making them turn the ball over, it's the main key for the game.
Ben, when the players in the starting room, they know the time of the tip, they know when it's time to go. When you're sitting there waiting, how do you come in there and flip that switch? Like, you don't seem to come in tentative or shy and you get right to it. What is it about you that makes it look so easy when it's time to go? You just go out and go.
It's just a mindset. I just get in the game knowing what I have to do, and whatever it is, whether it's to dive on the floor or make shots, I'm willing to do for my team to win.
Is it strange to think you really had a big role in turning that game around yesterday? You came in, the place was hyped. Could you feel that energy from the fans as soon as you went out there?
For sure. I think the fans, they play a big part of us winning the games, especially at home. So, very, very grateful for the crowd, and, I'm looking forward for the same thing tomorrow.
What allowed you to move the ball better offensively as a team and then contributed to the increase in team defense as well? That we've seen best performance of this series for sure.
I would say just sitting on a loss for a couple of days, just being able to watch a lot of film and pay attention to details. That was the main key for us, and I think we've done a pretty good job of being locked in on the right things, so that's the biggest thing for us.
You guys had a great game overall, but if you guys watched film already, where are some areas that maybe you can still improve defensively or offensively?
It's a lot of areas of growth. I think that we can improve, for tomorrow's game. All I could really say is watch film. We watch a lot of film and be ready for next game.
Anything you notice on their side that worked well on your guys' side defensively maybe?
Not really. Main focus is our team.
Ben, you talked a lot about how hard last year was for you having to watch all these playoff games and not be a part of it. How does it feel to have a game like you had last night where you not only are a part of it, but having, the game of your life on the final stage?
It's good. I'm looking forward to play as hard as, I did last night for tomorrow's game. And, it was great, because all of this would have meant nothing if we lost the game. So the main thing is just to win the game, and I was able to have my team do that.
Have you been able to zoom out today at all and think about the moment you just had within the context of focusing on the rest of the series you guys have?
Yeah, you could say that. I have plans. We got to wrap it up soon. I'm trying to bake. I'm trying to do a little cookies tonight. So, I'm trying to get away from it. I don't know yet. I'm still thinking. Yeah.
Sorry if these are even asked, man. Give me your thoughts on these two plays for us, like fans last night. How huge were they for these guys getting this win?
Huge, huge. It's great to see Gamebridge, full of yellow shirts, and the fans just being really, really excited. I think you could feel the energy going to the building, and as soon as I checked in the game, I felt it right away.
One thing.
All right, so that's Ben Mathurin right there, who is tied for the third most points in a game off the bench in the finals with Jason Terry and Manu Ginobili. Pretty good company right there for Ben Mathurin, who was asked multiple times there by reporters, about the game of his life potentially, considering the stakes and what he did, and didn't really bite on any of those answers, Smitty.
I mean, covered him in college. This kid is calm, cool, collective, and he believes in himself. He feels he could do more. This is I would say, the maturation of Ben Mathurin, cutting without the basketball. He did that a lot as a freshman, not as much as a sophomore. Didn't do it much in the NBA, but he's learned how to score with limited dribbles. His three-point shot has gotten much, much better, and he's confident shooting it. Love this right here. I don't really need a pick and roll. I know you guys like to run pick and roll, he says, but I can get to my spot and pull up because of his ability to keep people off balance with his handle. But there, right here, he can finish. He's athletic. People don't know how athletic he is, and he's strong. He's had this type of body since he was like an 18-year-old. I love his moxie. I love how he plays. And Carlisle knows if I need somebody to go get some buckets, he's the one guy, and I think he's done a good job of not forcing shots.
I was talking to Rick Carlisle during the year about this, and he said when Tyrese Halliburton wasn't in the lineup, he kind of had the green light more often than not, right, Ben Mathurin? But he said he loves, like you said, when he goes downhill. The one thing they were trying to avoid was him, sometimes forcing the issue a little bit, kind of running into crowds. But when he's figuring out his spots, man, he's lethal.
And I think also the positive is he's taking leaps and bounds on the defensive end. He was phenomenal one-on-one on-ball defender. Now he's understanding how to play off the ball. He's communicating more. We are seeing a guy that's starting to come in his own. He's been around a long time, but he's only 22 years old.
Again, impressive. 27 points in 22 minutes. TJ McConnell, it was TJ time also in Game 3. He made his presence felt all over the floor. We're going to hear from him with 3D. That's coming up right after the break on NBA TV.